Hello everyone, it's Tess, and today's tip 249, and I guess I thought I'd look at it. We all know I've been gone the past couple of days because there was someone who passed away a little too early, and we've been out of town, and I thought today I would look at like goodbyes a little bit, because even in our weight loss journeys, there's ending of ways of our life and starting fresh. So I was looking at like quotes this morning. Probably not the best thing I did, but I saw some interesting quotes, and it was just kind of about how we need to embrace fresh starts and need to embrace opportunities when life is telling us strongly that we need to make changes. And kind of what today is I just looked up quotes about, saying goodbye and moving forward. And I liked that one by Dr. Seuss. Don't cry because it's over, but smile because it happened. And I thought, what a great thing, because there's been so much in this past couple of years that's a statement that I kind of enjoyed and I want to hold close. I read a couple other quotes that I thought were meaningful, and I was thinking about like all areas of our life. Everything goes in seasons, and Doc V talks a lot about seasons and changes and how you get ready for the next season. And seasons can hit you when you don't even know you're getting ready to go into a new season. And another quote that I saw, well, hi, Upendra, good to see you. Another quote I saw is, this was an interesting one, but I think it kind of relates to all areas. Good morning, good morning. It relates to all areas of your life, but it kind of talks about, we know life comes in stages, and even our health and our journeys come in stages where we have to let go of what we once did and move forward with something new and look at life in a different way. And I found a quote by Paul Coelho, Coelho, and what he says is, if you're brave enough to say goodbye, life will reward you with a new hello. And I think even in our journeys and our health journeys, we get stuck in a pattern that we've always done, and it is uncomfortable making changes. And I don't want to in any way say that saying goodbye this weekend was an easy thing. It wasn't. And nobody was ready for the timing because the person was much too young. But it made me think about that in the things that are presented in our lives and in the timing, sometimes we have to jump in because it is uncomfortable. We know making changes is uncomfortable. And I thought that quote from Paul about, if you're brave enough to say goodbye to a way that you've been living your life, that your health is not in the best place that it can be, you will be rewarded with an opportunity to make it so much better than it ever was before. So we all know that change is uncomfortable. Doc V talks about it all the time, but he also always tells us that we had weight loss surgery because we wanted change in our life. So it's almost ironic that as much as we want change, the very thing that we all had surgery for is the thing that we fight so much. So I was looking at these quotes, not because I wanted to say goodbye to the person that we said goodbye to this weekend, but because I wanted to try to connect to the idea that we need to remember that for those of us in this journey, we had this surgery because we wanted to change. And part of change is saying goodbye to a way of life that we once had so that we can open ourselves up to a new way of life. And I think this weekend just presented me with an opportunity to realize that it's difficult. And those kind of goodbyes I don't want to have to do on a regular basis. But saying goodbye to the bad habits in my life are things that I do need to say goodbye to. So we know that we had the surgery to change our lives, and that does mean that we have to make changes. Another quote by Mariah Rogers was, the two hardest things to say in life are hello, and that's our new way of life. Introducing that first green smoothie. Doc V was talking in the past couple of days how he's got people that have been in this challenge in his paid challenge for a year and haven't even tried a green smoothie yet. And then so the hardest thing is to say hello to a new habit. And then the other thing is the first time you say goodbye. And I think sometimes it's that saying goodbye to a fast food restaurant that you think is your favorite. So I think for this weekend, I was forced to look at things like as the beginnings and the ends, but it also made me think about that this journey, this health journey, was about making changes. And life will force us to say hellos and say, well, maybe not to say hellos, but it will force us to say goodbyes. And I just found it to be ironic that when we have weight loss surgery, it is because we want to change our life. But the very thing that we had the surgery for, we fight so hard. And that's to make the change. So know that it's a hard thing to do, but make the change, because down the road, you'll be grateful for the reward. It'll open up an avenue you never dreamed possible. Another quote that kind of was meaningful to me this morning was Colleen Hoover. I thought I was stronger than a word, but I just discovered that having to say goodbye to you is by far the hardest thing to do. So I think, again, I know I'm equating it back to having to say goodbye to somebody in our that has been in our family for about 30 years now. But what it made me realize is that change happens, and sometimes it happens whether we want it or not. And then those of us that had this weight loss journey, we chose to have change. We had the surgery because we wanted change. But then when we get the tool to make the change, we fight it. And I think it's probably an inherent that we don't want. We know we need to change. Our gut wants to change, but it's hard to make that change. So I guess I just wanted to look at it differently, and I wanted to find some quotes, at least that were meaningful to me, and I hope are meaningful to you. I probably won't go real long today, but what I realized is that since I have been offline, because I had to drive a couple of hours one way, and so that just kind of messed up the days a little bit for me. So what I wanted to do is make sure I got back online so that I don't drop the pattern, because I know, like, Doc V challenged me not to stop going live, and I recognize that by missing 2 days I could easily fall off the pattern of going live on a regular basis like I have been, because I started my very first live December 31st, 2019, and I'm almost a year into it, and I just don't want to let too many days pass, because I do recognize that if I let too many days pass, it'll be hard for me to do it again. But for today, I just wanted to look at why is it so hard to make the changes. And I recognize that life will force us to say goodbye sometimes. But our weight loss journey we had so that we could say goodbye to the things that were harming our bodies. But yet, even though we had it for that reason, we still fight to be able to make the changes that will make our lives better. So I'm hoping that just for a few minutes today, you'll think about and remember that you had weight loss surgery to change your life, or that you're embarking upon a new health pattern to change your life, to make your life better. It's not easy. It can be difficult, but you have the tools, you have the resources, you have the people to reach out to, and it's worth it. The change is worth it. So all goodbyes are not easy. But saying goodbye to an unhealthy life and walking down the path towards something better than you ever dreamed possible is worth the energy and the effort. I'm not sure how long I went today, but like I said, I just wanted to make sure I got back on live so that I don't fall by the wayside and a week from now realize it's 6 months from now and that I haven't gone live. So I guess today, embrace change. And as I wonder if I'll be able to find it fast enough. As Dr. Seuss said, and will I find it? Here we go. I found it. As Dr. Seuss said, don't cry because you're not going to have that Whopper again. Smile because it happened, but move forward and enjoy that green smoothie. So now you may all want to throw things at me, but what I've learned over time and with Doc V is that the changes that I've made to improve my health by far outweigh anything that I gave up on this journey. So if you can, think of a way to move forward and recognize that there will be a day down the road that you'll be grateful that you made the changes. I'm 5 years post-surgical, and I have no qualms about having that follow-up with my doctor, because I know that I'm sitting in a place much better than I ever dreamed I could be, and that in 5 years I've still maintained it. But it did require change, and it did require saying goodbyes to ways of life that I thought were important to my life. And what I'm realizing now is that having energy, having experiences, and living a quality life were by far worth anything that I had to say goodbye to on the journey. We're forced to say goodbye sometimes, but to say goodbye for the sake of better health and to have a better life is definitely worth it. So I hope you have a wonderful day, and I will talk to you tomorrow, and maybe tomorrow I'll be a little bit more energetic and excited because it's been a lot of driving for me the past couple of days, so I am a bit tired, but I didn't want to miss another day. So you guys have a beautiful, beautiful day, and thank you for listening, and change something today, something to make your life better. Thank you.